Hey, Tom, there's other talking.
Was their everyday work lives, but expanded that and really contributed to the community. And the award fits in with Rotary's International Rotary's second objective, which calls on Rotarians to encourage and foster high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. So we're looking to you and everybody on Zoom to begin thinking about people you know and you run across or heard of even in our community, in our business community, who would fit the bill and we could honor as a volunteer service leader and give you award early next year. December 31st this year is not just New Year's Eve, but it's the deadline for you to submit your nominations. And the nomination form can now be found on our website, as well as it was in this morning's weekly bulletin. And it's an online form. So please, in the next week or two, think about it and nominate somebody who has made an impact, who you've run across and you think would be deserving. And then we have a committee of past presidents and a couple others who get together and decide on the award. And then we have a very nice ceremony at a meeting like this, where the recipient comes and tells us about themselves and how they made our community and how they made Raleigh and our environment better. So please give that some thought. I'll be up again between now and December to remind you. But this is the official kickoff and introduction for this traditional award we've given. So thank you very much. Please think about it.
Thank you, Past President Tyler. Thank you so much for carrying the torch for this really decades plus now long award. Jennifer, did you have something? All right. Thank you. So up next, we have a second reading and an induction today, and fundraising chair John Cates on his way up here. He's going to be standing in for Diamante, our membership chair today. All right, here you go, John.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay, we have a second reading today for John Riley. John, are you here today? Okay, John is not here. He's sponsored by Judge Hunter. John is the owner of Reliance Data, which focuses on engineering and installing critical power systems for federal government data centers. And is the owner of John Riley Group that focuses on upgrading the lighting and commercial building to LED and engineering and installing electrical vehicle charging stations. So the second reading for John Riley. Okay, John would like to meet like-minded individuals and be part of an organization whose first pillar is truth. Truth is daily under siege in our society. So that's John Riley. Second, we're going to induct Joe Crawford, sponsored by Kevin Summers. Would you guys please come forward, Kevin and Kevin? Thank you. This is my first time, guys, so be gentle with me. Joe, his membership application has been reviewed and approved in accordance of our club's constitution and bylaws. We will now proceed to admitting you into the Rotary Club of Raleigh, its membership, and the friendship of Rotary throughout the world by answering, I will. Okay. First question. Will you, as we strive to live a life of service above self? I will. Will you join us in our activities for service projects, fundraising activities, and in support of our community?
I will.
Third question, will you join us in supporting Rotary's efforts worldwide which focus on these 7 areas: promoting peace, disease prevention, providing clean water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, and protecting the environment?
I will.
Membership has applications been reviewed and approved according with our club's constitution and bylaws. We will now proceed with admitting you into the membership of the Rotary Club of Raleigh and the friendship of throughout the world by answering, I will. I will. Okay. Kevin? Will you join me? Hold on. Fellow Rotarians, will you join me in fostering and supporting Joe as he joins us in the pursuit of adding value to our community and through service above self? If so, say, we will. We will. Welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, John. Welcome to the club, Major Crawford. It is fantastic to have a representative from the Salvation Army in our midst. Okay, I'm next up. Coffee. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Your head. Normal. Coffee with Rotarians. Who here has signed up to be a part of Coffee with Rotarians? Fantastic. That's over 50%. So this is a new initiative this year that Harrison and Diamante have been working on. You all should have received an email this morning about signing up for a time that works with your 3 to 4 randomly paired fellow Rotarians to go get coffee. If you haven't received that email, let Linda know, and they will make sure that that works out. So really great to see so many of y'all involved in that initiative. All right, up next, Mr. Kevin Summers, past President Kevin Summers, and current service chair. We just are never going to be able to be like.
Thank you, President of the Day. I like that. I like that. That has a nice ring. Service. There's not an imminent project coming up because we finished our October project. So what I want to talk to you about is just give you a heads up. This year, we're planning to do service projects at some of our meetings. The first one opportunity is going to be in November when we go to Green Chair. We're going to have lunch there, and then we're going to do a little service project as part of our meeting. I'm also scheduling one in March where they will come to us, and we will, as part of our meeting here, we'll enjoy lunch, but we'll also do a service project that'll entail packing backpacks. So just keep an eye out there. It's just something new for Rotary. We haven't done a lot of this, but good way for me to get attendance at our service projects. The other thing I want to promote, which segues nicely into John's fundraising efforts, those of you that, how many people in the room attended our gala back in March? We had quite a few, but there's a lot of new people that, surprising, John, that don't know what I'm talking about. But if you've been paying attention to the news, Thomas Danbo is an artist out of Denmark that is building trolls in Raleigh. There are going to be 5 completed at the end of this week. I've had the privilege as part of Habitat in this Rotary Club to help build these trolls. He signed a copy of his book. I'll keep this if you guys want to look at it later, but this is a really big deal for Raleigh. And there's going to be 5 trolls, a mother, a father, and 3 children here in Raleigh. And I encourage you to check out the trolls once they're finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. That does sound really exciting. I didn't realize there were going to be 5 trolls. I knew there was going to be more than 1.
One more thing, guys, I forgot. Next Tuesday night, if you're interested in the Dominican Republic opportunity. So we've gone the last several years. This is a district project where we go down and build houses. I've gone personally the last 2 years, and I plan on going this year. And I think I have company from our club coming. But there's an interest meeting next Tuesday night in Cary. There was a note in the bulletin about this, and I'll promote it again next week. But if you're interested, please come to that meeting. Thank you.
Okay, and Kevin, kids, youth were able to go, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's been several members of Rotary clubs that have brought their grandchildren. I wouldn't bring somebody that's younger than say like 12 years old, because there is some construction work involved.
Great, definitely go check that out. And if you don't go this year, I encourage you to. I haven't gone yet. I do want to go on that and take my son, who's going to be 13 this year. So that's on one of our Rotary bucket list items. Okay. Fundraising tree planting report. That would be John Cates.
Thank you, Carrie. It's good to see all of you guys today and gals. We had a fabulous event this past Monday, a week ago, planting the first of the America 250 ceremonial trees in historic Moore Square. And I have to tell you, I was humbled at how well things went and how enthusiastic the crowd was. Presenting sponsors of North State Bank and Duke Power were there, as well as the mayor. And I don't know, I don't think it could have gone any better. And we're off to a great start. You know, we're partnered with the city, and next week we're going to make good on our commitment to sponsor 100 trees with the city. So next week, Tom Holder's going to break the bank, and he's going to write a check, and we're going to present it to the city of Raleigh. We are off to just such a fabulous start. We have room for a couple more sponsors, and there's some reasons why sponsors should get on board. It's not too late. If you thought Monday's planting was a wonderful ceremony, come to the Veterans Day planting in historic Oakwood Cemetery. I met with them last week along with Trees of the Triangle. They are making our historic America 250 oak tree a centerpiece in their new field of honor in the Veterans Cemetery. This is they've got a big monument. They've got an older Veterans Cemetery. They're opening up a new one. And the pathway through the new cemetery area is going to lead directly to the America 250 oak tree. There will be a stone at the foot of this tree commemorating it as America 250 tree. And the Rotary Club of Raleigh's name will live on that stone and remind everybody of our patriotism, our love for country, our love for community and each other. What's really going to be fun is we have invited, and they have accepted, the daughters of the American Revolution and the sons of the American Revolution to head up the ceremony. So this will be a very patriotic ceremony with George Washington as one of the participants in the ceremony. If you've never been to a DAR or SAR ceremony, I strongly encourage you to come. It's very patriotic. It's very inspiring. You'll be very proud of this way that we honor the veterans. So we're inviting the governor, we're inviting senators, we're going to invite everybody. We'll see who comes. And I hope you can make it. Put it on your calendar. I want to thank James Lamontia for stepping up. He's been doing a great job as a team captain. And I tasked him, I said, there's a place called Oak Steakhouse. It looks like a fabulous place. See if there'll be a sponsor. Well, they didn't want a sponsor, but they said, we'll give you a $250 gift certificate that you can use on Valentine's. So if you're looking for a way to contribute to the campaign and have a chance to take that special somebody out for a fabulous dinner at the Oak Steakhouse, you can buy raffle tickets now. They're on the campaign website. We'll have a way, or you just go see Linda, and I'm sure she can make sure you get billed for that. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That actually should say 80 trees sponsored so far by Rotarians. Thank you to Surrey Roberts, who's a Henry Clay Oak Society donor. He got us 40 trees. Thank you to Braxton Wilson, who's a Majestic Oak Society donor. He got us 20 trees. Thank you, Mary Moss, for being an Oak Grove sponsor for 10 trees. Thank you, Dan Liparelli and Neighbor Health for making a generous donation that will cover the cost of 4 trees. Yours truly, 2, Mike Brennan, Mark Hackett, Burke Haywood, Pete, have all stepped up to sponsor at least a tree. We have a lot of runway left on this campaign, and so I look forward to the Rotarians running that number up to 250 in addition to the sponsorships we've got, okay? And last but not least, Arbor Day. We're shooting to plant at the Governor's Mansion on Arbor Day. I've got a meeting with the Governor's assistant next week. We're going to aim for, I think it's March 15th. It's the Friday. They do a ceremony of tree planting and hopefully something really special. I think that's it. Just get involved. Thank you.
She said you have another one.
Sorry. Would you draw the ticket, please? And read the number? I got the honey.
All right.
Honey for the raffle?
Yes. Okay. The number is 825952. Surrey. All right. All right, and let's give John Cates a round of applause. He has done an amazing job. We're not even halfway through the Rotary year, and look at all that he's accomplished so far with the tree planting. So thank you so much, John, for all that you're doing. It's excited to see this continue to all these trees get planted. All right, Harrison has call to action up here. Oh, red bucket and happy dollar time. So do not forget those red buckets. Do we have those in the middle of the table? The blue buckets, is that also for the Dementia Alliance? Heart, okay, the cart buckets, if you have spare change, drop that in there. Also, we have happy dollars. So Charlie Upshaw, can you do some happy dollars? And as he's walking up here, I've got 3 happy dollars because my son, Johnny, who sometimes comes to Rotary meetings, entered 4 chickens in the state fair and he won 3 first place ribbons and he got a 2nd place. So this is in honor of his chicken wings.
Good, Johnny. Thank you. That's wonderful. I'll throw $1 in there on a personal note. I've been, since I've seen you last, to Houston, Texas. Some of y'all know my dear wife, Connie, made a quilt and entered it in the quilt contest of the International Quilt Festival. So we went out to see the quilt on display, 200 out of 600 that she won. Then we went up to see her late mother's house, which we have for sale in East Texas. We'll cut you a deal on a house in East Texas. Then we flew back to Raleigh Wednesday and we drove Thursday to Charlottesville. My first cousin's daughter married a gentleman of Indian descent. So I went to my first Indian wedding on Friday and a Protestant wedding on Saturday. And I was dressed up, so I'll gladly show you pictures of me dressed up. Okay, thank you. Who else got, here's Eric's got some. Past President Eric.
Yeah, continuing on the state fair theme, if you remember, we had a Rotary meeting at the farm a little bit ago, and part of that included a honey tasting that Carrie ran. She has hives on the farm and raises bees, and she entered her honey this year in the state fair, and she won multiple awards, including a 1st place. So she has the best honey in all of North Carolina.
Hi.
And then a second item, not a happy dollar, but in a way a celebration comment. My wife's mother passed away at the end of last week in Houston, Texas. She was 100 years old. She had failing health for some time, so it was a relief, but a celebration nonetheless. And so we'll be making a $100 donation to the Rotary Club of Raleigh Foundation in her name.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Eric. That's great. Okay. Nobody else happy this morning? I'm happy to see Patty. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Charlie, and congratulations to Connie. That is quite the accomplishment.
Okay, moving on, we did happy dollars, we got some birthdays and anniversaries. So happy birthday to Kim Gold, whose birthday is on the 25th. Randy and Pam Frazier, I think I saw Randy Frazier. There he is in the back. Happy 47th anniversary to you guys. Yeah, round of applause for them. Wonderful. Okay. And coming up, or meetings that are coming up, next week we have Efrain Mendoza, who is going to do the wonders of the Caminos de Santiago, which is a trail in Spain. Is James La Mancha here? I believe he did that. He's on Zoom, okay. And we had a speaker several years ago that spoke about that, so that's gonna be a really interesting meeting. Then Dan Bulgarelli, who's CFO of the Snow Approach Foundation. Then we have a very special Veterans Day meeting with Kirk Warner and Peter Gorey. I don't know if either of them are here this morning. They did a joint meeting. They're on Zoom last year together, and it was fantastic. And then Kevin Summers mentioned the Green Share Project, and we will be having a speaker from Green Share on November 17th. So with all of that, we are going to go to our feature presentation, and got 2 minutes before 1, and definitely want to give them the whole 30 minutes because they have a lot to go over. However, I do want to say a few words about the first gentleman who's going to be coming up to speak, who will introduce wonderful Donna Pefferly, when he comes up here. But our very own Randy Mounce, who is our club's foundation chair, will come up and do an introduction. He said just to introduce him by his name and bring him up, but I wanted to say a few words about him before he comes up here. So Randy, before he retired in 2023, spent 35 years working in the nonprofit sector as a fundraising and marketing executive. And those included time at top tier public universities. And I believe he said one time he worked for United Way for many years. Yeah, that's where he started. He graduated from the University of Houston. We've spoken about Houston quite a bit today, with a BA in journalism and a concentration in public relations. When he was with United Way, he was up in Bay County, Michigan, and in 1997 was recruited by the newly formed Triangle United Way. So that was his first stint here in the Raleigh area. Randy has a passion for lifelong learning, as certainly exemplified by him joining the Rotary Club and just jumping right into asking how he could get involved, and then learning from Patty Rooney all about our foundation. He earned a graduate certificate in nonprofit management from Duke University and is a graduate of 2 Chambers of Commerce leadership programs. Those were in Bay City, Michigan, and Leadership Raleigh in Raleigh, North Carolina. He has also not only serves in the Rotary Club of Raleigh, but he's on the board of directors with Leadership Raleigh as chair of the Member Services Committee. Randy has served as a community volunteer just about every year since 1992. He's a 6th-generation Texan, a biographical fact that he often shares, whether asked or not. Randy has a passion for music, traveling, reading, the outdoors, and is an avid hiker. Randy is married to his beautiful and brilliant wife, Donna. He is blessed with 2 bonus children, Cassie, a tenure-track professor at Northeastern University in Boston, Mississippi, or Boston, Mississippi, or Boston, Massachusetts? Massachusetts, says MS, but Massachusetts. And Alex, an architect and NC State grad here in Raleigh. So please join me in giving Randy a warm welcome up to the podium.
Thank you, past President Carey. And by the way, I was in Leadership Raleigh with Eric Stevens, and during my time at United Way, I had the pleasure of working with Mike Condrey, among others. So I love to have these connections in the Triangle. So, well, thank you. And thank you for taking a day to acknowledge and celebrate the accomplishments and frankly, the significance of the foundation itself. I will point out that I'm happy to have as a co-presenter joining me today, Donna Pefferly, She is currently the foundation chair with the district, and for a variety of reasons, but not the least of which, I wanted you to get to know her as well. I have enjoyed working with her for a few months now, and she is an incredible resource. So, and you'll hear from her about kind of the halfway mark. And I do have a lot to get to. Oh, please take my picture away. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I forgot I was in control. Thank you. Okay. So again, I think it's worth of the foundation to that we kind of take a pause and appreciate everything that it stands for. Thinking about this, I thought about like probably 10 different metaphors defining the significance of the meaning of a foundation, and I thought I would torture every one of them. So I am just going to say that it is, of course, critical for any organization to have a solid foundation that we want to support and keep healthy and stable. So this is the mission of our foundation, and I'm not going to just read it off to you because you can see it. I think many of you have seen it before. I do want to point out, though, coming from the nonprofit sector for 35 years, this is about as good a nonprofit mission that I've seen. I have a lot of experience in crafting these mission statements and making sure that they're on point and they communicate what you want them to. They state the goal. They do all these things in a very concise manner. This is a great mission statement. And I do want you to, kind of look at it. You've seen it before, but what I really want to encourage is that you see yourselves in this mission. When you read through it, ask yourself, where do you see yourself in this mission? And just know that, the foundation was created to unite for good, and inspire you to, get out there in the world. So some quick history. The foundation, Rotary Foundation, was actually founded in 1917, just 3 years after the founding of our club. It was founded by Arch Clumpf, and I like to point out his name because you will see that name on one of the Giving Society recognition levels. The Arch Clumpf Society are those that are given $250,000 cumulative dollars to the foundation. And when he founded it, the very first donation came from Kansas City, Missouri, with a donation of $26.50. And I was curious, and so I had to look. Any guesses how much $26.50 is worth today in today's dollars? Anybody? Throw out a guess? 672. And more than I care to admit, I'm dying to know why they couldn't round that up to just a full $27. I mean, there's got to be a story there. It's like, all right, fine, I'll give you, here's 50 cents. So I love that. So, and again, I think most everybody here is, when you entered the club, you spent some time with the Rotary's areas of focus. Like any good nonprofit, we understand that we can't be all things to all people. And so you have to kind of focus and break it apart to have defined purpose, defined areas of focus. What I do want to encourage, and again, I'm not just going to read these off because you can see them very well on the slide. I want you to I'm going to encourage you to spend some time with each one of these. Take a deep dive and, see which ones of these best align with your why. And that's really kind of the main message that I want to come across today is we all stood up here and we all shared our why we joined, why we want to serve, why we support the foundation. And that's what the foundation is here for, is to take your passion and transform that into action and lasting change. That's the whole point of it. Let's see. So they do these through grants. Service and the purpose is really made possible through your donation and through various grants. Just to call out a couple of milestone grants, recent history. 1999, Rotary Peace Centers were created. And for those of you not very familiar with the Rotary Peace Centers, the goal is to offer fellowships to develop leaders who build peace and prevent and resolve conflict in their communities and around the world. And I think most of you again know this, but again, it's worth pointing out because when I was at the Saturday district assembly, we talked about the foundation at the district level. They happily bragged about the fact that the Duke University of North Carolina Peace Center is the only one in the Americas. There's 7 in the world, and one of those is right here in the Triangle. So I think that's nice bragging rights. And, you know, when you're telling the Rotary story, I would put that high on the list. In 2019, disaster response grants were created. This type of grant is, of course, oops, did I just go out? Okay, sorry. So this type of grant is, you know, designed to help in the middle of disasters and to you know, quickly respond. You're all aware of what happened during Hurricane Helene and the devastation in Asheville and how we were able to step in quickly and respond. You know, Kevin, you were very involved with that and organized quite a bit. That grant makes this possible. So when you're, you know, when you're supporting a foundation, when you're volunteering, you're part of an organization, you want to be confident that it's going to use your resources wisely, it's going to use the assets well. You can be fully confident. One of the strong measures of any nonprofit is having an independent evaluator. You know, look at how well it's managed, how well the funds are stewarded, and happy to say that, you know, every dollar that you give, 88% of the funds spent program awards and operations. For 18 consecutive years, our foundation has received a 4-star rating on Charity Navigator. And so 18 consecutive years, that's something to be very proud of. So if you haven't heard already, this coming Friday is World Polio Day. And this month is a month where we acknowledge the work that we've done and the work that we're doing to help eradicate polio around the world. So it's fair to spend a little bit of time sharing some information with that piece. Yes, I love this picture. You have the smiling mom, and you know, it's a picture of gratitude and the grateful mothers. The recently inoculated child protecting her from the disease. The ultimate goal of completely eradicating polio is very much within reach. It is almost eradicated to the point of 99.9%. And what I've learned kind of looking into it is that 0.1% to get it 100% eradicated is where the real work is hard. And that's where a lot of the funds are focused on currently. And so in a brief history, the polio virus has been with us since the start of recorded history. I did not know that. And so that's something I want to kind of look into too. Did anybody else know that? Dan, okay. Well, you're kind of in the healthcare area, so you should. The first major outbreak of polio was in Vermont in 1894. In 1952, there was already 58,000 cases reported in the US and 3,000 died. And then only a year later, 1953, Jonas Salk discovered the vaccine and vaccinations began in 1955. You see pictures there of what the world looked like back in 1953 with the iron lungs. And some of you probably, y'all remember those better than some of us, but that was a different world back then. And then Rotary entered the fight. We got involved in 1979. And this is, we got involved through a grant called Health, Hunger, and Humanity, the 3H grant, used to purchase polio vaccines and immunize 6 million children in the Philippines. So we kind of came in with a strong start. Another key moment in 1985, Rotary, by the way, I knew I was going to do that. I can't tell you how many multiple sentences I read that had the word Rotary and polio. And I said, you're going to say rodeo. At some point, I'm going to say rodeo. So just act like nothing happened. So we launched Polio Plus programs, initially to refer to other vaccines administered along with the polio vaccine. But then later, Polio Plus, the plus really reflected the fact that it takes an infrastructure to effectively eradicate a highly infectious disease. So you have, it requires fundraising and advocacy, getting the different governments involved and in different countries. Just think about the logistics to coordinate all that. And of course, raising awareness about the effectiveness of the vaccine and the importance of taking them. So today, the Polio Plus Fund provides vaccines to administer to children, conducts regular surveillance to help to detect the disease, raises awareness for the benefits of immunization, and supports the work of researchers. So when you ever see Polio Plus, I want to share like a little bit more about what that means and the importance of its strength. Then in 1988, along with the World Health Organization, Centers for Disease Control, and UNICEF, Rotary formed the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, which has served as the model for use in other global countries. And during that time, in 1988, there were then 350,000 cases in 125 countries. And so our role, I'm going to pass that. That's okay. Well, so you see here, yeah. So there we go. So our role, fundraising, advocacy, raising awareness, that's kind of where Rotary comes into play in terms of that infrastructure. So progress has been tremendous. You see the countries on the left, that's where all the infections occurred, countries around the world. And now you look at today, 2025, and currently there's only 35 cases in 2 countries. Those would be Pakistan and Afghanistan. You'll hear more about Pakistan from Donna when she comes up here. So it's an incredible progress, really. Okay, so our role, of course, is annual fund share. And I see this picture, and I keep thinking they're about to do like the Vulcan sign. It's just like every time, yeah. So that's just from my own amusement. So how can we, take part in this fight, and what is our role, and what is the ask today? Is please take part and support the foundation, Rotary International, and of course our local foundation. I'll say more about that in a second. So one of the most important funds for us is the annual fund share. And this basically provides dollars that will go away for about 3 years. They're invested, and then they come back 95% comes back to us for projects and other purposes. And half of that comes back to us locally. So half of that 95%, 47.5%, comes back to us to do good here locally. So when you donate to that, it goes off, it grows, and it comes back to us. So the reason why it's one of the most important. And the other, as Patty taught me, the other important element of this is a consistency. It provides a level source of funding, a dependable revenue source that you can rely on, and dependable source of funding. And you'll see there, of course, there's that dip, and predictably you can look at that's 2020 during the pandemic. So we just had less coming in during that point. But it is encouraged that when you give to the Rotary Foundation, that we give to this so that it does come back to us. And the best way to do that is through Rotary Direct. And that is when, it's one of the easiest ways to sign up. And it's, you don't have to really do anything and change it unless you want to change the amount. But when we first, came in and registered and signed up to be on the club, we had, we were asked to give $25 minimum to the foundation. And you could opt out of that. And some of you may have, it's A lot of us, I think, stayed in. But when you stay in and continue to give that $25, then that, puts you in the Rotary Direct program. And it's something that we do, highly encourage. If we had 100% giving in Rotary Direct, we would be a member of the 100% every Rotarian every year. That is an important measure of the impact that we're able to have as a club in funding these programs. Earned recognition. So some of the recognition levels, we'll talk about the Paul Harris Fellow. And when you look at what I think about, like the recognition, yes, this is about individual recognition, but honestly, it's about recognition of us as a club and our effectiveness to provide funds. Am I okay on time? 2 minutes, okay. Thank you. And so this was fun. This was, of course, named after Paul Harris, who was our founder of Rotary. Paul Harris Fellows are those who give $1,000 at any point in time, cumulative, to the foundation. So it could take you 2 years, it could take you 3 years, it could take you 6 months, but that is how you become a Paul Harris Fellow. And you can use matching points to become a fellow as well. You can use a combination of donations that you have made along with points donated to you by another club member. And I'll let you know right now, I am working behind the scenes with those members in our club that have a great deal of points to donate, along with other members who are pretty far along in the foundation, in their own foundation giving. So if their giving is currently at 250, we're going to ask them to consider donating another 250, getting $500 of their own donation, and then another member will provide the other half to bring them up to the Paul Harris Fellow level. Okay, so that's matching points. So I became the chair in starting this Rotary year in July. And what I wanted to do was set some goals that we had not set. And one of those goals is for Paul Harris Fellows, for Paul Harris Society. The Paul Harris Society are those that give $1,000 every year and pledge to do so, but they do that annually. And just to share quickly our goals. So the goals for this year for 25-26 Paul Harris Fellows are 20. Currently we have, I think, 15. The Paul Harris Society, 10 new members. New Heritage Oak Society members, 10, and you'll see the brochure on your tables. It'll tell you a little bit about that. And total annual giving to the foundation, $5,000. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later, but now I am pleased to bring up Donna Peffley, and she'll tell you her story and her aha moments. Thank you, Donna.
All right, very good. Let's see. Yep, got it. Okay, thank you for having me today. When we talk about the foundation, there's a lot of information, and it can get totally confusing. But we have ringers in the room, Randy and definitely Patty, that if you've got questions, please reach out to them. But as Randy mentioned, what we gave 3 years ago comes back to our district. 47.5% of it comes back so that we can do things locally and around the world, but we make the decision where that money goes. Last year, the Rotary Club of Raleigh, along with other clubs in the Raleigh area, did the Rotary Music Garden. So that was through a grant. What we have coming up this new Rotary year is we have 36 district grants that clubs are leading and partnering together you can see that it's over $108,000 that the district is matching with clubs to do grants that then impact a wide variety of people, whether it's children, disabled, veterans, homeless, mothers. We're making an impact here and now. So just briefly, I wanted to give you examples of what some of those projects that clubs and your club is doing. So there are 11 projects that have to do with basic education and literacy, teacher supplies, books, things like that. Community economic development. We have 8 projects. One of those is the Dominican Republic, which you are partnering with. The MLK Day, where they're doing the meal packings, emergency food kits. Also, the disease and prevention treatment. The Rotary Club of Raleigh sponsors that Wake Smiles Dental Clinic. So that is a district grant that we are partnering with. Hygiene kits, therapy training. In the environment, there are 3 projects there. So Crabtree is doing a greenway stewardship project. There's a solar project. They're also greenifying the Museum of Science. Isn't it amazing that clubs can decide what area of focus they are interested in and want to concentrate to do programs on? Maternal and child, there are 3 projects going on. There's a lounge at the UNC hospital for parents who come. The kids have to stay there a long time, so there's a lounge for parents to be able to relax. Duffel bags for foster kids. Then there's peace building projects. Sometimes you might not think of a peace building conflict resolution project, but there's one in Selma that has to do with speed reduction. There's also families moving forward and growing future Rotarians. I wanted to briefly share with you my aha moment, how it all came together for me. I've been a Rotarian since 2004, and my father was a Rotarian. He joined in 1960. So I have been with Rotary a long time, but it wasn't until 2019 that the light bulb came on for me. I went to Pakistan. I was district governor. I was there to do the polio vaccines. There was a group of 8 people from the United States that went to Pakistan to give the 2 drops to the children. As Randy said in that picture, I got to see firsthand the smiles of the parents as we put those drops in those children's mouths so that they would not get polio. We went to the bus stops. We went to the train stations. We went to the villages. Now, they really didn't need people from the United States to come to give those vaccines because they have professional healthcare workers on the ground that are doing this daily. But we were the cheerleaders. We were saying, Rotarians, do not give up. We will make it across that finish line, no matter what the challenges we face. It was a life-changing experience for me, but it wasn't necessarily when I gave those polio drops that the aha moment came. We did tours in other areas, and we went to a water filtration site. The women and men were coming with their pails to get clean water. This lady came up to me and hugged me. Now, I love to be hugged, but this lady really hugged me and was not letting me go. And then she took my hands And she was saying something to me. Now, I didn't speak her language, so I couldn't understand what she was saying, but she was very intent on sharing something with me. Well, Shafi Parekh, who is a past district governor in our district, he is from Pakistan. He was on this trip beside me, and I was like, Shafi, what is she saying? What is she saying? And he said, Donna, she is thanking you for the clean water for her children. Her children are going to school, and when they come home, they're going to have clean water. And I said, Shafi, we're here to give the polio vaccines. I had nothing to do with this water filtration system. But if you see the picture up there, our Rotary emblem is there, and we had our Rotary name badges, and he was saying, Donna, you're a Rotarian. She's thanking you for the water. No, 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 Shafi. And he's like, Donna, do you give to the Rotary Foundation? I said, Shafi, you know I do. He said, perhaps the money that you gave to the foundation ended up at this water filtration system. And that's what I believe happened. And that was magic. And I was part of that. So yes, I give to the Rotary Foundation. I don't always see firsthand those faces, but let me tell you, Rotary is making a difference. And I'm proud to be a Rotarian, and I'm proud of you for sharing your treasure. Sometimes we can't give money. Hopefully we can give more than $26.50, but we can work on those projects together. So I'm going to turn it back over to Randy to share another way as to how we can give.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. Great story. Thank you for sharing. Okay, can I do this? Just stop. Okay, so quickly, we'll have to do Ignite, I guess, another time. Well, okay, if you have your phones, take out your phones right now. If you have your phones, phones out, please. Seriously, phones out, turn your camera on. And, okay, here's a QR code. I want to encourage everybody to download the Ignite app. If you haven't yet, it is actively for your phone, and you're going to see all kinds of great information. You're going to be able to see your level of current giving, how far away you are from the next Paul Harris Fellow levels, and it is so much easier to use. You can actually donate points through this. So thank you for that. And now I think we're going to acknowledge a couple of our new Paul Harris Fellows. And Linda, is that it? It's just Paul Harris Fellows.
Can I put the
Lester
QR
Wells,
code back
not
up,
here.
please?
Okay. So Tom Packer, I would like you to come up, please. Thank you. Tom, congratulations on your Paul Harris Fellow recognition. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's thank Tom. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Okay. And next we are going to acknowledge me. So here I am. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. And finally, I'm just going to close with thank you for all that you've done for the foundation so far. And what I really want to encourage is please don't make your kind donation out of your generosity and from the heart, and then never think about it again. It's so easy. You can sign up for something like Rotary Direct, that's great. You make a donation, that's great. But then you make that donation and you never think about it again. Please spend some time, hop onto My Rotary, look at the website, and pick up a copy of Rotary Magazine. It has some great stories, this issue about polio, what's happening around the world. You make that happen. You make it possible, and you should feel good about it, and you should feel proud of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Randy and Donna. We do have a mug in honor. Do you have a Raleigh mug yet? Oh, wonderful. Thank you guys so much. We'll get you one too, Randy, if you want. Oh, great. We have two. So thank you guys so much for coming and speaking to us today, all the information. Randy, that's wonderful what you said about don't just give and forget. Goes along with what you were saying, Donna, about your aha moments. Maybe you'll read an article in the Rotarian magazine about how those funds are used, and it'll really click. So it's amazing organization. We've got a lot of great knowledge here between Randy and Donna. Patty Rooney back there has a lot of foundation knowledge. So if you have any questions, you know who to ask now. So with that, if all Rotarians could rise and stand and repeat the four-way test. In the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Meeting's adjourned.